This is The Rumor Report with Angela Yee on The Breakfast Club.
So listen up.
All right. Well, according to TMZ, Tamar was depressed for months after she was fired from The Real, and that's part of what destroyed her marriage with Vince.
Well, Vince got to do with that.
Well, he's her manager also. But if she was going through some type of depression after that happened, now they're saying that created bigger issues because they already had kind of a teetering relationship. And they've been acting like a couple because they do have the show, Tamar and Vince, coming in. They put the trailer out. Check it out.
And I haven't been honest.
Tamar's fought passionately for her career.
I should be behind the mic.
It just doesn't happen because you're my wife.
Fearlessly for her family.
You gotta choose your kids. It's your children.
But she's still got one fight left. And this one changes everything.
I haven't shared this with anybody. This is a pill they're going to have to swallow.
Now, when is this show coming out?
When is it released?
I'm sure it's going to be soon.
We think this
it's coming out soon.
See, why do stuff like this happen right before people put out shows and put out albums and stuff?
Well, I think what it is that they've been pretending, I guess, to still be together because the show is coming out.
Man.
So now that the show is about to premiere.
Now they launch with the divorce and filing for divorce.
Right, because
like
they've already put their
publicity
house for
stunt.
sale a couple of weeks ago. So now this happens.
Smells like a publicity stunt to me.
All right.
She seemed upset when she was there, remember?
Yeah, I don't know if it's a publicity stunt.
I just
but
think it's
I
weird
think sometimes
when
people try to hold it together for business purposes.
But everything don't got to be marketing. Like, I don't think a divorce should be used as part of a marketing plan for a TV show.
Except that the season does
Thursday what?
kind of circle around what's happening. You giving us the
Thursday, November 9th.
Okay.
That's what, next week, 2 weeks?
Yes, right on time.
All right, now we are going to discuss Jelani Mirage. That's Nicki Minaj's brother, who is accused of repeatedly raping his stepdaughter. The mom, Jacqueline Robinson, testified yesterday in court. She said that in 2015, she arrived home to a drunken and enraged Jelani Mirage, berating her then 11-year-old daughter over his belief that she had told Child Protective Services about the abuse. The family had a meeting with social services later that day. He was yelling at her, asking her, "What did you say?" According to Jacqueline Robinson, he kept badgering her and screaming at her. She said, "I didn't say anything." She was very afraid. And then she asked her daughter about the abuse on the car ride over while Jelani stayed home. I asked her, was anything going on with her and Jelani? And she said no. Now, social workers then revealed the news that I guess they said they had to administer a rape kit. And he said it wasn't true. So she also talks about the details of what she said was a relationship that had abuse and alcoholism in it, and so on and so forth. So we're still following this case to see what's going to happen. And she said at one point in the relationship towards the end, they were very distant. He stopped having sex with her. They only had sex once since they got married. She said he would sleep on one side of the bed and she would sleep on the other. So there you have it. All right, now, speaking of Nicki Minaj, she's been celebrating these days. She's been doing her thing for over 10 years. And Russ had this to say on the Rap Radar podcast about Nicki Minaj.
Who's Russ?
You know what else people need to really start putting respect on, period, is Nicki Minaj. Do people not know that, like, Nicki Minaj has birthed, like, so many females? Not even just in rap, but, like, the look, the whole everything just in women.
Down.
Let's not act like she wasn't on a Jay-Z and Kanye song and didn't arguably have the better verse.
She had the best verse.
Come on.
Russ sounds like Christopher Columbus. Like, he's speaking like he discovered something new. Who doesn't respect what Nicki Minaj has accomplished?
Well, I guess what he's saying is that people aren't giving her her props. Now, Nicki,
Since when? And when was it ever a debate of who had the best verse on Monster? Like, I thought...
well, I'm going to tell you how
everybody know Nicki
I'll
had
tell
the
you how
best verse
Nicki
on Monster.
responded, because she agreed. She said, "Thank you, Russ. I never comment on who had the best verse on any of my collabs because that's just an opinion. We all have our good and bad days. I'm just grateful to have been respected highly enough by the greats as an MC that they've all collaborated with me regarding inspiring others with my look or trends. People tend to overlook that as well. So thanks for being brave enough. A person can do my exact look from hair to toe, but no one will mention it. But when it's the other way around, child, they can't wait. It's all love, though. Congrats on your recent success. Keep shining. And again, thanks for being brave enough to say your unpopular opinion. There are men I've known my entire career who wouldn't dare say these things publicly. People say it to me behind closed doors, though, all the time." And then she went on Twitter and she reposted something that Kendrick Lamar put out 7 years ago. "Just realized Mo N-words hate Nicki Minaj than women do." And she said, "Putting people in the same sentence as me after my 10 years of consistent winning, what are you teaching them? They'd never do this to a man." And she said
That's
in
not
any
true, though.
field, women must work twice as hard to even get half the respect her male counterparts get. When does this stop? The greats collaborated with Drake, Kendrick, and J. Cole because they're dope MCs. They collab with Nicki because someone pulled a gun to their heads.
Well, the reason that they mention other women with Nicki is because Nicki is the bar. Nicki has been the most popping female rapper for the past decade. So any woman rapper that comes out, they're going to mention with Nicki Minaj.
I guess she's saying for female MC that if they just have one record, you shouldn't mention her in the same sentence as Nicki Minaj, that they put in some work.
And I guess, and it's true, they do separate men and women when they talk about the greatest MCs. They don't ever put women against men necessarily.
Well, I think that Rhapsody is one of the greatest rappers, period, right now, out of men and women, regardless. But Nicki is insecure in her position, and she has no reason to be, okay? Like, everybody knows what Nicki has done over the past 10 years. She just had a rough year this year musically. That's why all eyes on her for this new album that she's dropping. That's all.
All right, well, I'm Angela Yee, and that is your Rumor Report.
The Breakfast Club. Every weekday morning. Tune in